Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
Money back, money back, money back. Make it like a money back, money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I said, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me. And I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back, woo. Money back, money back, money back. And with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? When I look at my snap, I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this behind the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I said, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, 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 woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the San Francisco 49ers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus.
12.
First carry for Darius Geis. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. All day. Hey, on.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. Down to the 25. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quicker. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Zach Brown in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Out of the gun, Smith. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. In for the score. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
A lot of times when you take a tight end in later rounds, you're doing it with a little bit of hope, some potential. But not so with this guy. They believe he can really make an impact in the red zone, and he definitely makes good on that faith right there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Trying to lay one up deep. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 32. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Smith. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Smith. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they add on to their first quarter lead. It's now 13-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll make it a second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Airing it deep for Garcon. It got his man complete. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
11.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Brown in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long?
21. 12.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Preston Smith. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
They'll hand it down to Geis. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Smith on third down. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Malcolm Smith able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up fourth down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Going up top. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10, Smith again. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To the air again, Smith. Dumps it off for Geis. There he goes inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Caught left side by Funchess. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes remain here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. Throwing again is Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Smith throwing again. Flush to his right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for
21,
here.
21. Go ahead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted
21,
once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
21. Go ahead.
Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They start the second half with a run by Geis. Twisting away. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Malcolm Smith in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Smith. And the pressure gets to him again. Reuben Foster in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long. Third and long, it's Smith. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long?
120!
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this one is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Smith. Going to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Redskins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
11.
Back near his goal line. Here's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a toss play. It's Breida. Oh, the spin. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And all the way up to the 21-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got a 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll buy some time right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
11. Go ahead. Wait.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Caught left side, Garcon. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Escaping the pressure right. To the right side, complete to Taylor. A very solid gain of 27. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
12.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 12. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. They stay on the ground. Geis again. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. To throw is Smith. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
11.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 84 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jeremy Sprinkle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. So here comes Alex Smith as he'll lead his guys up to the line to go for 2. Out of the gun, Smith. And he's got it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 16.
11.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
11. Go ahead. Check.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. He got 29 yards that time. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
11. Go ahead. 11.
Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
11 yards for number 11.
Go ahead.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. After the interception, here's Smith. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time?
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Go ahead.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. 21. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of... And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 12 yards is the pickup there. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with the big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a 1st down.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Geis. Oh, look at that. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.